Okay, so if you just got your new Galaxy S23, in this case we've got the S23 Ultra, but a lot of these tips are going to be very similar if you're using the regular S23 or the S23 Plus. Everything except the S Pen features, of course. Now, one really nice feature on the S23 Ultra, if you go up into the notification shade, go ahead and hit the plus symbol and look for wireless power sharing. Drag that one down to the bottom section and then just hit done. Now all you have to do, swipe down, turn that on, and you can charge wireless earbuds, a Galaxy Watch, or even another phone through wireless charging. And as long as you put it in the right spot, it's gonna work with Android and iPhones as well. You'll notice if you hold down the power button, it's gonna bring up Bixby by default. Personally, I would go into the settings and search for side key. Here you can change it from Wake Bixby to power off menu. Then if you hold the power button, you've got power off, restart, and emergency call. You'll also notice down here at the bottom, takes you right back into the side key settings. The next thing I would do is go back into settings. Under display, you've got several options here. You can choose between light or dark mode. And then one thing I would do is turn off adaptive brightness. I just sort of like to control the brightness myself. I know for me, sometimes I fight with that, with the screen going dim when I don't want it to. The other thing I would do is go down to where it says screen timeout. I think by default, that's usually on 30 seconds. I would definitely make that a little bit longer, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. While I'm doing videos, I'll even go all the way up so the screen doesn't go to sleep. Now the battery life on here is actually pretty great, but if you want even better battery life, you could go into motion smoothness and switch it from adaptive down to standard, then just tap apply. That's gonna make it 60 Hertz instead of 120. Again, some of these are personal preference. That's just one thing you could do to get better battery life. Also, if you put a screen protector on here, you may want to go down to touch sensitivity and turn that on. It also may come in handy if you wear gloves a lot while using your phone. Really, it's just a matter of testing it. If it doesn't seem like it works any better, then you can come back and turn that off. The other option that I feel is kind of split right now on whether you want the 3-button navigation or swipe gestures. Nice thing is you can choose the order of the buttons. If you like recents to be here on the right hand side, you can also choose down here in the blue where it says system vibration, where you can decide what the intensity is as you're touching the screen, and if you want to turn on the touch interactions. Then you're going to feel feedback each time you touch the screen. Just keep in mind that could run the battery down a little bit faster if you turn that on. Edge panels, you probably want to leave that on. That's just this here. As you swipe over, you've got shortcuts, and you can add pretty much any app that you want over here on the side. Now, if you want to do split screen on here, there's actually a couple different ways to do it. If you go to recent apps, you can either just tap on that and say open in split screen view. You can also open this in a pop-up window where you can move it around, or if you just hold down on it, you can drag it to the top for split screen mode, or there in the middle to make it a floating window. And then you can drag that around to wherever you like. Then just swipe that down to the bottom to remove it. Then you can have 2 different things going at once, and then just drag it there in the middle to wherever you like. Another cool feature is if you open up one of your photos, hit the little pencil, then tap the 3 little dots. You've got several options here. Probably the best one is what they're calling object eraser, where all you have to do is select an object, tap erase, and it gets rid of it like it was never there. Now obviously it's gonna work on some photos better than others, but still a really nice feature to have, very similar to the magic eraser that you would get on Pixel phones. Another thing that may come in handy is if you hold down on the camera app, you've got some shortcuts here like take portrait, record video, or take selfie. And you'll notice whatever you choose, it jumps right into that mode. So just something to save you a little bit of time, and then a faster way to get to recording video, just hold down on the camera app and then just choose record video. And you're ready to start recording. Now, as far as the S Pen goes, there's several different things you can do with it as far as take photos, just pushing the button. You can actually start writing on the screen, even with the phone off, and then it saves it to Samsung Notes. It also makes it really simple to do screenshots by using Smart Select. And then once you select something, you can edit it, share it, save it. Or if you just want to write on the screen and then send that to somebody and then modify it, share it, do pretty much whatever you want. Another thing you'll probably want to turn on is if you go into settings, under advanced features, you've got S Pen settings. You can choose what the phone does when you remove the S Pen. You can even press the button on the S Pen to unlock your phone if it locks while you're trying to use the S Pen. You can also keep the S Pen connected, allow multiple S Pens to work on here at the same time. This is also where you turn on the S Pen to text, where you can actually write out things to search for and it automatically turns it into text. Now, if you want to edit the lock screen, you can just hold down right in the middle, and then you can change a lot of stuff on here. You can choose what shortcuts are down in the corner. You can also resize the clock and date there, or choose what style, or just take the clock off altogether. You've also got the option for notifications. You can turn it off, do icon only, or you can do details as well. You can even adjust the transparency right below that. Now for me, I'm not really the biggest fan of the wallpapers on here. You can see they're all very similar, just different colors, but you've also got some other options down here. You've got some in graphical. You can also choose from colors, which looks like solid colors, gradients, that type of thing. But down here at the bottom, you've also got dynamic lock screen, where it's gonna change the image each time you unlock it. Then you can also get a lot of different themes from the Galaxy Store as well. Now I'm kind of surprised, but here on the home screen, typically you have two options, Samsung Free or Google Discover. Now it looks like they've switched it to only Google Discover. So maybe not that many people used Samsung Free, I'm not sure. But then if you go into wallpaper and style, there's also some other options in here, such as color palette, where it's gonna match your accent colors to whatever wallpaper you choose. The other thing you may want to do is hold down on the home screen, go into settings, and you can choose how many icons you can fit on the home screen. 4x5 is going to be a little larger, where you can go all the way up to 5x6, where you can fit more across, and there's going to be more rows and columns as well. You can also choose if you want the apps to be added to the home screen in here, just by toggling that on. And if you want the home screen to rotate when you put this in landscape mode, you've got that option on here as well. Also, if you get a lot of notifications from certain apps, you can actually turn those off if you go into notification settings, and then you can pick which apps you want notifications from and which ones you don't. Also, if you're coming from an iPhone and you don't like how the apps are set up, you can actually choose home screen only, and then it puts all of your apps on the home screen that you just cycle through, fairly similar to how an iPhone works. Also, if you go into settings under lock screen, there's a couple things you may want to turn on in here. One, this is where you put in your fingerprint scanner, PIN, password, that kind of thing. But you've also got always on display, where you can turn it off or you can customize it how you like. There's several different things in here that you can change. You can choose the clock style. You can even choose image clock, themes, stickers, colors, all sorts of things you can do with the always on display. Now up in the notification shade, if for some reason you don't see what you're looking for, like for instance, I don't see Dolby Atmos. If you just go over here to the little plus symbol, you've got several options here at the top, like take a screenshot, NFC, always on display, secure folder, S Pen air actions, and then Dolby Atmos is right here, so you can just drag that down to the bottom and then just tap done. You can also rearrange that however you like. Then when you swipe down, Dolby Atmos is right there and you don't have to go searching for it. This one you may already know, but if you go to your apps and you realize you can't find something, if you just go up here in the search section, you can start typing it in and then it should show up right there. You can also tap and hold on it and choose locate app, and then it'll take you right to it and it'll start bouncing where it's located. Another cool feature on this phone, you can actually connect this to an external monitor or a TV and use Samsung DeX, which basically turns your phone into a Galaxy Tab or a laptop experience similar to a Chromebook. So I definitely went a little longer than I thought I was going to. There's just a ton of features on the S23 Ultra. If there's anything that I left out or something cool that you found out on your Samsung phone, go ahead and leave a comment down below so others can check that out as well. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.